let's get into fast lashing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I always wash my clients' lashes, whether it's a full set or a fill. So I'm just here washing the lashes. Now I'm going to tape down my client. I'm going to put one piece of tape on her outer corner covering the bottom lashes, and then I'm going to put one piece of tape covering the bottom lashes in a straight line, and I'm going to do the same for the next eye. And then I'm going to put two pieces of tape on the eyelid, one in the inner corner and one in the outer corner, so it lifts up her eyelids so I'm able to place in a good direction. So now we're getting into the mapping. I'm going to map both of her eyes, and this is a wispy set, so there's going to be 2 layers. So the bottom layer is going to be 9, 10, 12, 14, 13, and coming back down to 12. And then the top layer, I'm going to put some 12s, 13s, 14, 15, 17s, 16s, and 15s. So this is going to be a doll eye. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna add my first lash in the inner corner, and I did map this out by section, so I'm gonna add the next lash in the same section. And I kind of like to add 3 lashes in one section and then move on to the next eye and do 3 lashes in one section and just kind of go back and forth like that. So the reason why I like to get the inner corner first is because the inner corner can be the most challenging. So I like to get the most challenging part out of the way. I do not like to leave it for the end, because the end, it's like you already want to be done. So I'm not going to have a challenge in the end. I'd rather just get it done first. Sometimes I'll lash in the middle first so I can warm up my lashing, and then I'll move on to the inner corner. But if you've already had a few clients that day and you're already warmed up with making bands, then you shouldn't have a problem with lashing the inner corners. So when I'm lashing, I'm always going back and forth. I'm never ever lashing one eye at a time. I feel like lashing one eye at a time takes way too long, and you only put effort into that one eye, and the next one, it's kind of like you're trying to get it done. So make sure that you are lashing both eyes at the same time. Not only that, you see that I'm going section by section. I'm not lashing lash for lash. So I'm gonna put a few lashes in one section, then the next eye, I'm going to put a few lashes in that section, and I am just going to go back and forth between eyes. Remember that you do not have to get 100% of the lashes. Aim for about 85% to 90%, because you want to make because you don't want to have it in your head that you have to get all of the lashes, because it's going to make you subconsciously feel like you have to. Just take it easy, relax, don't try to rush. By the way, this is me lashing in real time. I did edit in between each fan, but when I'm placing the fans, this is how I do it in real time. So it's not sped up. So I'm not rushing. I'm really taking my time. But since I am using this method, I am lashing faster. So right now, I am working on the bottom layer first. It depends what kind of look I'm going for, but I'll either choose to do the bottom layer first or the top layer. But lately, I've seen to just do the bottom layer first and then I'll do the spikes. It really just depends. But for now, I'm only doing the bottom layer. So I'm going to just make sure that I'm lashing by section. So I'm speeding up the video right now because if I were to just leave it at regular time, we would be here for like an hour and a half. And I'm not going to do that to you guys. So I'm going to speed up the video so you guys can just watch me work. This set in real time did take me an hour and a half, which honestly, for me, that is very fast. And for a lot of you guys, that is the time that you guys are looking to get. Sometimes I can get a full set in an hour. It just depends on the client's natural lashes. But most of the time, I could probably get a full set done in about an hour and a half. So the first layer, I added about 3 fans on each section on both eyes. And now this next time that I'm going in, I'm adding the spikes. So I'm adding all of my spikes in each section. I am adding about 2 to 3 spikes in each section just so I can get a very wispy look. And then after I add my spikes and I come back around, I'm going to add bands again for the rest of the sections, and I will repeat the process for about 2 to 3 more times, and then the full set will be completely done.